Hello students, welcome to the bridge course. In this video, we will discuss about oscillations. We come across various types of motions in our daily life. For example, a cricket ball thrown by a player, falling off an object, moving cars, bicycles, etc. And among these, some are non-repetitive and some are repetitive motion. So first, let's learn about non-repetitive motion. The motion which does not repeat itself in time is called a non-repetitive motion, and the examples are rectilinear motion and projectile motion. And in the rectilinear motion, the body moves along a straight line in a specific direction. So a car moving on a straight road, okay, is good example for rectilinear motion. And a ball kicked by a player or a ball thrown by a player is good example for a projectile motion. Now, repetitive motion or periodic motion. The motion which repeats at regular intervals of time is called repetitive motion. And examples are the motion of leaves and branches of a tree in breeze. In this case, leaves and branches move back and forth repeatedly. They are not moving in the same direction. They are repeating their motion back and forth. So that's why they are example for their repetitive motion. And the other examples are the motion of a pendulum in a wall clock and the motion of planets in the solar system. Now the types of repetitive motion or periodic motion. And they are classified into two types. One is rotatory motion and the other is oscillatory motion. And the example for rotatory motions are the motion of planets, blades of a fan, giant wheel, and spinning of a top. These are examples for rotatory motion. And now the important part of this video, that is oscillatory motion. So the motion in which the body moves to and fro repeatedly about its mean position is called oscillatory motion. So in the oscillatory motion, the body is moving to and fro repeatedly about its mean position. Examples are the vibration of the atom, and the other example is the motion of the pendulum in a wall clock. Okay, so these objects are moving to and fro repeatedly about its mean position. So these are good example for oscillatory motion. Now the displacement of an oscillating body. So it is the displacement of an oscillating body from its mean position. So when we need to calculate the displacement of an oscillating body, then we have to calculate from its mean position. We have to calculate its displacement from its mean position. Okay, and there are two types of displacements, that is linear displacement and angular displacement. Okay, so for an oscillating simple pendulum, the angle made by the pendulum with the vertical is regarded as angular displacement. Now the amplitude. So the amplitude of an oscillating body is defined as the magnitude of maximum displacement of the body from its mean position. So if we want to calculate the amplitude, then we have to calculate the maximum displacement made by the body from its mean position. Okay, the maximum displacement from its mean position. So this displacement is called as amplitude. Suppose a body is oscillating between A and B. It is oscillating between two extreme ends A and B with the mean position O. Here the mean position of the body, oscillating body, is O. Then the amplitude is OA or OB. The amplitude is OA or OB. So similarly, we are able to calculate amplitude of angular displacement also, the angular amplitude. Okay, so that angular amplitude is represented in terms of theta, that is in terms of angle. Now one oscillation. So one oscillation or one complete cycle. So one complete to and fro motion of the oscillating body is called one oscillation or one cycle, one complete cycle. So one oscillation is completed when the pendulum bob moves from A to B and then back again to A. Suppose the pendulum starts its motion from A, and when it returns to the same position A, and this motion is called as one oscillation or one complete cycle. Now the time period of an oscillating body. So this is the time taken for one complete oscillation. So the time taken by the body to complete its one oscillation or one cycle is called as time period. Suppose a body is completing its one oscillation in 1 second, then the time period is simply 1 second. If a body uh, makes 10 oscillations in 10 seconds, still the time period is 1 second. Okay, so now the frequency. So frequency is, it is the number of oscillations made by the body in 1 second. Suppose a body makes 1000 oscillations in 1 second, then the frequency is 1000 hertz. Suppose a body makes 10 oscillations in 10 seconds, 10 oscillations in 10 seconds, then the frequency is simply 1 second, because it is number of oscillations made in 1 second. Okay, so this is how we calculate time period and frequency. Now mean position or equilibrium position. So when there is no force acting on a body, then that body rests in the mean position or in the equilibrium position. So it is a position of the body when the net force acting on it is 0. So here we have 3 points, 2 maximum points and 1 equilibrium point. So that equilibrium point is nothing but equilibrium position or mean position, because at that equilibrium point the net force acting on that bob is 0. Now the phase of a particle in oscillatory motion. So the phase represents the state of vibration of the particle at a given time. So it represents state of vibration or state of oscillation. So state means it includes all the information regarding the object or particle. Okay, so from phase we can know where the particle is and in which direction it is moving or about to move with respect to its mean position. So if we know phase, then we know all these three quantities. So this is how phase is important for oscillating motion. Now oscillations in springs, which represents simple harmonic motion. So here we have a diagram of a object, okay, which is attached to a spring, and the other end of spring is attached to a rigid support. Okay, and when the spring is deformed, that is when it is pushed or pulled, there arises an internal force in the spring which tries to bring the spring to its original shape. When you push or when you pull, there is a force arise in the spring only. Okay, and that force wants to bring that spring to its original shape, and such force is called a restoring force. Here the restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement, because as you push the spring, the restoring force is also going to increase because the displacement of that object or the block is increasing. Okay, and this restoring force always acts in opposite direction, always acts in the opposite direction. If you are pushing the block, then the restoring force acting against your push, it is acting against your push. Okay, so the mass attached to the spring executes to and fro motion about its mean position. So when you push the block and release, the mass attached to the spring executes to and fro motion. Because of that restoring force, when you push and release that block, it executes to and fro motion about its mean position. Here B represents mean position, A and C represents maximum displacement positions. So in this diagram, A and C represents maximum displacement position. So if you want to calculate the amplitude, then it is BC or BA. The amplitude is BC or BA. Okay, and the mean position is simply B, and such kind of motions are known as simple harmonic motion. Okay, simple harmonic motion, or simply SHM. In the case of simple harmonic motion, displacement can be represented by means of sine function. So the displacement can be represented here by using sine function. So here y represents the displacement of the particle or the displacement of the block, and the displacement is given by a into sine omega t. Here a represents amplitude and omega t represents the phase of the oscillating body, the phase of this block. So we will learn these things in our coming classes. Okay, so this is simple harmonic motion, and the equation for simple harmonic motion is y equals to a sine omega t, and a represents amplitude, omega t represents phase. Now classification of oscillations. So broadly they are classified into three types: free oscillations, damped oscillations, and forced oscillations. So first let us learn about free oscillations. Suppose a body capable of oscillations is displaced from its mean position and left free to itself. It oscillates with a definite frequency and amplitude, and these oscillations are called free oscillations, and the definite frequency is called natural frequency of the body. Natural frequency of the body. For example, suppose you are pushing a spring block. Okay, if you push the spring, then you release that spring, then it starts to oscillate by its own. So these kind of oscillations are called as free oscillations. Okay, and the frequency with which they are oscillating are called natural frequency, are called as natural frequency. Now damped oscillation. A damped oscillation means an oscillation that fades away with the time, that fades away with the time. A real world system has some dissipative forces that decrease the amplitude. For example, the frictional force or the medium resistance force. These are example for dissipative forces. Okay, and because of these dissipative forces, the oscillation starts to fade away. They starts to slow down. Okay, and these kind of oscillations are called as damped oscillations. So the decrease in amplitude is called damping. The process of decrease in amplitude is called as damping, and the motion is called as damped oscillation. The motion is called as damped oscillation. Okay, and the example for damped oscillation is oscillation of a swing and oscillation of a stretched string. These are example for damped oscillation. Now forced oscillation. Okay, so forced oscillations occur when an oscillating system is driven by a periodic force that is external to the oscillating system. Okay, so in this kind of oscillation, the system is driven by a periodic force that is external to the oscillating system. Okay, so here in this example, in this swing, it is pushed by another boy. Okay, so this is example for forced oscillation. And when the frequency of appropriately timed, when the frequency is appropriately timed pushes is equal to natural frequency of the swing, there is a dramatic increase in the amplitude, and this is called resonance, and this is called resonance. Okay, so about these things we will learn our next classes. Okay, coming classes, right? So what is mean by resonance? Simply when the frequency of the oscillating body matches with the frequency of the external force, frequency of the external force, then there is a dramatic increase in the amplitude. Okay, so this is called as resonance. Okay, yes, so this is a completion of oscillations, and here there are some questions for you, so please solve these questions. Thank you.